Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a new America's Got Talent reaction. After a 1-week hiatus that was kind of weird and inexplicable in the middle of the auditions.
And felt like it went on forever. It feels like we haven't had AGT in weeks.
Yeah, I'm probably a part of this, I guess, is just the way time is working at this point, where nobody has any semblance of what a day, a week, or month. I sound like I'm doing the Friends theme song now, but no, we're going to talk about a couple of people who have been teased leading up to the final audition show of the season. We've got Lightwave Theater Company, and then also Kameron Ross, country singer, who, is from my original neck of the woods here in Dallas, so I'm inclined to root for him a little bit because of that. But we'll go through both of these acts, what makes them special, interesting. Before we do, if you guys like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates.
Okay, let's start with Kameron Ross, because he was just had his audition put online this morning. We woke up and I was like, oh, yes! Because it had been a while since we had really gotten a lot. Like I said, it feels like it's been
years.
Yeah, weeks and weeks. His time is just in a void right now. But it was really exciting to see him. I mean, we do have another country singer on this season who's also quite good. And he's really good too. And it was a really interesting story to sort of hear that his struggles of what he went through, and that the first concert he went to was Shania Twain, who's Canadian, love. So that was really cool, and that he got really inspired to get into country music, and because of his background and who he is, he found that he had a really hard time, which I'm not surprised to hear this. I'm disappointed to hear this, but I'm not surprised to hear this. So it made me really happy that he has come onto the show and shared his voice with us, because it is good.
Yeah, it's a really difficult situation that he has been put in, just for the very reason of being who he is, and that sucks. And country music and country radio can be just so unforgiving. Like, I constantly kind of think back to the fact that this is a genre that decided that they were going to exclude a band now known as the Chicks because they spoke out against a president. Like, they're willing to make that big of a judgment sometimes. And I know it's changed somewhat since then. I'm talking about things that were well over a decade ago, but that is still very, very difficult. And I applaud him for having the courage to keep sticking with it. And beyond all of that, I mean, aside from the story, which can be inspiring in its own right, I mean, he is like a legitimately really good singer. His voice is so clear.
Yeah, it's really smooth. I am not a country singer, song listener. Like, it's not really my thing. But his voice is really smooth. And during his first audition, I was like, oh man, this is really good. And you could see like Sophia's face was like, oh, this is amazing. And then you see Howie's like the same, oh, this is amazing. And then you see Simon, and he's just looking at Sophia like this.
Yeah.
He's not even, okay, listen. Simon is not my favorite judge. Sometimes he does things that just feel like they're just rude. And if he's not feeling whatever with this song, you can't even just continue to watch the performance and then cut it. You need to like turn your whole body away from him. Like, I was really disappointed in seeing that. I thought that he handled that extremely poorly, and I felt really bad for Kameron. So when they ended up in a situation where it's like, cut the music, I just want to hear you sing a cappella because I feel like, you were getting lost in the music. That's not true. That wasn't true. I didn't hear that at all. I'm not going to be mad that I got to hear him sing a cappella, but there was nothing wrong with his audition, and he certainly shouldn't have been turned away from him.
I feel like Simon's got like 4 or 5 go-to moves at this point, and he does them so much that none of them feel authentic. There is the, that wasn't a good audition. that was a great audition. Like, he's done that like 5 times. He's done the whole thing where he like pretends he knows how many people are in the audience, and he'll be like, you got 3,745. Yes, okay, Simon, we've heard that. And then he does the, okay, we're gonna, make you sing a cappella, because for some reason, even in an auditorium where there are no fans, so there's no like distraction, you somehow didn't hear the clearest voice. And it is ridiculous. The thing with being country music is that, I grew up in a place where I heard country all the time, and my big problem with country isn't so much the music itself, but it's every single male country singer, they all feel like they're variations on the same person. So I feel like it's just the same thing over and over again, and it gets really, really tiresome. And I think the reason why Kameron appeals to me is because he is sort of different. It's like, oh, here's actually a point of view that I haven't heard 99 times before in my life. And there's something so refreshing about that. And he just sings so well.
Yeah. And that's also why I really like Shaquira, because she is the same in that way, where it's unexpected of how I didn't expect her to be as good as she was, and her country singing voice was crazy good. And it feels the same with Kameron, where I was just kind of like, okay, here are 2 country singers, and I don't like country music at all. It just doesn't appeal to me. And now there's 2 country singers on this show, and I'm rooting for both of them because their voices are just very different but gorgeous, very clear. They're both really fun, and just, I don't know, man, I really like Kameron.
I think he has potential to go fairly far. It's still way too early to know how anyone's going to do in like a live show environment or whatever it is that they do. But, Lightwave theater especially, I don't know how you do an act like this unless they're actually there in front of the judges, because it really would kind of lose all of its magic.
Yeah, I don't want to watch somebody doing a puppet show in their backyard or in their shed or whatever's going on. This is a situation where they need to have some sort of, it's such a huge production. I mean, even just watching the video and seeing them like put up the big screens and everything, you could see the judges being like, wow, like this is going to be a big production. That is really difficult to do at home in your backyard or in your shed. It's not the same.
Yeah, I feel like that's something like your neighbor Bob does, but he does it with like sock puppets or like, some like weird creepy thing that he's pulled out of his shed. And like, you don't want to go and watch Bob's backyard puppet show. You want to watch the good, legit stuff. And I feel like when I first just sort of heard the name of this group, I was like, okay, all right, so we're going to have another shadow puppet group, and we've seen like dozens of these. Like I like that they actually had like legit real puppets.
Yeah, I love that they had real puppets. I thought the puppets were really well crafted. I mean, it was really cool. I'm just gonna say that I'm over the same story about a dog. I've seen this story on this show a lot, where it's a sad story about a dog. It starts as, this warm, comforting story. Then something happens where it's sad dog, and then the end is happy dog. I've seen this story. So even though at first I was like, oh man, okay, cool, this is really cool, and we've got puppets, and these puppets look really, really dope, this is great. And then I was like, oh, here we are, happy dog, sad dog, happy dog, great, wrap it up. So for me, the story was completely just lost on me, and we are dog people. So, a really sad dog story, I get why they're doing it. It does reach right into your heart, because this one, this face will make me do anything. I will just be walking to the kitchen to get a drink of water, and I'll look at her, I'll be like, all right, I gotta go over and pet this belly. So I understand why they're leaning into the dog stories, because, come on.
Yeah.
But I'm over it. I've just seen it so many times now that it's not hitting me the way that it did the first couple hundred times.
Yeah, the story probably needs a little bit of honing down to try to find a way to come up with something more unique. The funniest part about this right now is that I pretty much woke up, I think, Coco Vanderwolf. I think she was asleep, and like she is just like, where am I right now? Like, what's going on, guys? But no, yeah, we need stories about happy dogs or something like that, because I think in terms of their craft, there's no denying that, you know, what Lightwave does is really impressive and cool and different, and I really like puppets. This is like one of my things. Some people get creeped out by puppets, by clowns. I'm pro puppet. I'm kind of pro clown as well, which is probably a very weird take to have in 2020.
Yeah, you are. I'm pro puppet. I like puppets and dolls and all that kind of stuff. So I was pretty excited about them when they first came out because, like you said, there's been lots of sort of light shows or puppet shows or whatever, but I love that stuff. It's just when the story is really what matters. And yeah, for me, I was just kind of like, I've seen this story.
Yeah. Happy dogs, everybody.
Happy
dogs. But all right, well, let us know what you guys thought about Kameron's audition, Lightwave Theater's audition, and we'll be back tomorrow to talk more about everyone else we see. And if you did like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking that link in the description to the store. And we'll see you here next time.